Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I'm going to be trying out the Tarte Shape Tape Matte Foundation. I have the shade Medium Neutral, so if you would like to see a review and a 10-hour wear test, please keep watching. So I'm just going to go over like what's on the box already, and then I went ahead and went to the Tarte website so I could read you guys some more information. But just on the box, it just says Double Duty Beauty, and I feel like I heard somebody say that this was supposed to be another Tarte foundation, but they just like changed the name and put it in a different packaging. I don't know. I don't think I've ever tried a Tarte foundation before, so I'm pretty excited about it. This is cruelty free. It is matte. It's not as dark as you would think. Unless, because this is kind of like a frosted glass bottle, maybe I can't really see the shade, but this is like, this feels good. Actually, you know what? I have tried the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation, and I was like, So, we'll see. This is nice. Oh, okay. So, it is like the giant doe foot applicator, which I'm not too excited about. I'd rather have a pump, but I'll take that doe foot over like a pour out foundation any day. So on the Tarte website, this foundation retails for $39, but it's currently on sale for $25. It is 4 stars out of 5 out of 2,232 reviews. So there are only 25 shades, which now that I think about it, I think that was a problem too when this first launched. I remember people having problems with that. But this says that it is kiss the pretty filter goodbye thanks to this vegan and oil-free foundation that feels weightless on the skin while providing a full coverage airbrushed matte finish inspired by iconic Shape Tape concealer. What it does: flawless full coverage with airbrushed matte finish, absorbs oil and shine, helps refine pores, won't flake or cake, vitamin E helps nourish. Says how to use: dab foundation directly to skin with applicator, apply 3 swipes of foundation to each cheek, 2 swipes to the forehead, 1 down the nose and 2 on the chin, and then blend in circular motions. That seems like a lot of foundation. So that's pretty much it. So I'm just gonna go ahead and put my hair back. And since this is a matte foundation, I'm definitely gonna be using some more moisturizing primers. So this is like a newfound favorite of mine. This is the e.l.f. Illuminating Primer Mist. This is so good for dry skin, let me tell you. The mist isn't the greatest, but it leaves such a nice glow on my skin. I'm obsessed. Next, I'm going to go on top of it with my favorite hydrating primer. This is the Laura Geller Speckle Hydrating Moisturizing Under Makeup Primer. I'm telling you, this is the best primer for dry skin. So as always, I'm going to do one side with a sponge. So today I'm going to be using my Eco Tools sponge, and then the other side I'm going to be using a brush. I think that's a pretty good shade match. I probably could have got a darker shade. There is a fragrance. It kind of smells like the Wet n Wild Photo Focus foundation, so I'm just gonna blend that in. Yeah, see, I thought this was gonna be too dark, but it's not. So I definitely could have went a few shades darker, I think. Or maybe it will oxidize and it'll just get a little darker. It does feel lightweight. It does feel matte, that's for sure. But I'm pretty happy with the coverage that I got. I definitely think this is going to be a very buildable foundation, but I am going to use the Tarte Shape Tape Concealer, so I don't really need like super full coverage from this foundation because that concealer is full coverage. So I'm going to do this side with a brush. And I'm going to use this Morphe G36. You know what? I think I like this foundation applied better with the brush, which I am a sponge girl, so this rarely happens. Yeah, so if anything, I think I'm going to like applying this foundation with the brush and then go over it with the sponge. So this is what my skin looks like up close with the foundation. So sometimes if I wear or test out a matte foundation, depending on the primers that I use, they're not like completely matte. And this one, even with the illuminating primer and the moisturizing primer that I used, it still is pretty drying on my skin for sure. Like I said, sometimes when I use matte foundations, I can manipulate them with the primer, but this one is definitely like full on matte. It doesn't look bad on my dry skin, but I feel like I'm gonna have to be really careful when I set it with powder. Like I might have to do like a really light powder on top, because then I feel like I'm just gonna look too dry. But other than that, I think the shade is nice. Again, it's lighter than the rest of my body, but it's not terrible. Like I like the shade of it. So now I'm just gonna use the Tarte Shape Tape in the shade Fair. I feel like I haven't used this concealer in a really, really long time. And I'm just gonna blend that in first with my Morphe E45. This might not be a good match for me, because normally when I wear matte foundations, I like to wear a more like dewier concealer, like a more hydrating one. I never do matte foundation, matte concealer, so this might not work out for me, but we'll see. It's like I feel like whenever I try to blend out my concealer with a sponge, it takes away the coverage. Now I'm just going to lightly set my face, and I'm going to use my La Prairie loose powder in this Morphe E41. If you guys have this La Prairie powder, how do you guys use it? Like, do you use a brush, or like I've been using this beauty blender thing or whatever, or do you use like a poof? Like, how do you guys apply it? Because I feel like I don't necessarily like applying it with a brush. I haven't found like a good way to, and I definitely don't like applying it with a sponge, so I don't know. So this is what my skin looks like up close with the foundation, concealer, and powder. So if I remember right, the last time I used the Tarte Shape Tape, I noticed that if I just let it sit, I don't necessarily have to set it, so that's why I didn't put any powder underneath my under eye. So I'm just going to leave it alone for a little bit, and then if I need to set it, I'll let you guys know. 2:56 right now, so we'll just make the call time 3 o'clock. I'm gonna jump off here real quick, finish up the rest of my makeup, and I'll be back to let you guys know how that went. So I'm back. I'm gonna let you guys know everything that's on my face. So for bronzer, I used my MAC Give Me Sun bronzer. For blush, this is like my new favorite blush. This is the Too Faced Love Blush in the shade I Will Always Love You. It is so pretty. For highlighter, I used the Maybelline Master Chrome in the shade Molten Gold. I can like only wear this in the summertime because I'm like so fair the rest of the months of the year. The rest of the months of the year. Does that make sense? Then for my eyeshadow, I just used the bronzer in my crease and then on my lower lash line. For mascara, this is a really good combo, even though it's just like My lashes don't hold a curl unless I use waterproof mascara, but I really like these two together, even though it doesn't look like it really lifted them or anything, but it did, and then they drooped. So I don't know, but I used my Lancome Grandonice mascara, and then after that dried, I went on top of it with the CoverGirl Exhibitionist, why can I say that, mascara. These two together are really, really nice. Then I just threw some NYX Milk Jumbo Eye Pencil in my waterline. For lips, this is one of my favorite lip liners too. This is from the brand Beauty for Real, and there's no name on it or anything, but it's like a twist up lip liner. It's like the same shade as my lips, so it's really easy for me to overline them and not look crazy. So I love this. For sure, when I'm done with it, I'm gonna order another one. For lipstick, I busted this out, and I think it's time I get a new one. I don't even know if they sell this shade anymore, but it was really drying because I've had it since it launched. I know, gross. But this is from Gerard Cosmetics, and this is in the shade Tequila Sunrise. This shade is gorgeous, as you can see. It's like a pinky orange, but it's not like so orange that's like coral, like in your face. You know what I mean? It's very wearable. I love it. Then since it was like a little drying, I just went on top of it with this Rimmel Oh My Gloss in the shade Go Gloss or Go Home. It's just like a sheer kind of corally orange shade with a little bit of like silver glitter in it, but that is what I'm wearing. And then I also set my under eyes with this e.l.f. under eye powder, which normally I don't have a problem with, but so like I was telling you guys, like when I was applying the foundation, I can never wear a matte foundation with a matte concealer. It just does not work for my dry skin. So I should have known better than to use this Tarte Shape Tape on top of the matte foundation, but I did anyways. So when I was up close, I could see how dry my under eye was. So I just tried to apply like the highlighter a little like closer to my under eye to try to distract from that. But yeah, so the foundation I actually like so far. It is a little bit more matte than I was expecting, but it's working, so I really like it, and it feels really lightweight. Like I don't feel like I have makeup on my face. But trying to pair the Shape Tape foundation with the Shape Tape concealer is just too much. Like I just can't do it, but I like how everything went on. I think it looks really nice. And for brows, if you can see them, I just used my Anastasia Dip Brow in the shade Blonde, a ColourPop eyebrow pencil that I don't know the name of, and then the Essence Make Me Brow and Blondie Brows to set. And then to set my face, I went in with my MAC Fix Plus. This is the Cucumber scent. And then this Catrice Illuminating Prime and Fine Dewy Glow Fixing Spray, which I don't feel like, I've seen other people use that on YouTube and they're like, oh, it's so dewy and it's so illuminating, and it doesn't do that on my skin. Even if I spray like a bunch, it just kind of sets my makeup like any other like normal makeup setting spray would do, like Urban Decay All Nighter. Like that's the kind of result that I get. So I'm gonna go ahead and go throughout my day, and I'll be back with my first check-in in about 4 hours, so it'll be 7 o'clock I believe, and I will let you guys know how this foundation is holding up. Hey guys, so I'm back for my first check-in. It's 7:43. So I've actually had this foundation on for almost 5 hours, but today is my aunt's birthday, so we were Skyping her and watching her open her birthday presents and stuff like that. So I stayed on there a little longer, so I'm 45 minutes late, I guess, but I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. But anyways, I have yet to really like look at my skin up close, so I'm gonna do that now. I feel like I look a little oily right here. And I did just eat. It looks like it went into my laugh lines like I have over here. My under eye looks a little bit better. It doesn't look as drying. But I think I am gonna powder a little bit right here because we're gonna go for a walk and it's still like 90 degrees outside. So I'm gonna put a little bit of powder there. So I'm gonna bust this guy out. This is a repurchase, but this is the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. This is in transparent. I haven't used this new one, but I used to use it all the time. So I'm just gonna use that now. This is such a good powder, and it's affordable. And it works for me when I'm like fair or tan. Like, it's so good. I feel like a lot of people don't really talk about like drugstore powders like this anymore. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about drugstore stuff in general because everybody's like too busy like going to Sephora and dropping all this money on like high-end makeup when you don't need to. So I catch myself on a regular basis reaching for more drugstore products than I do high-end products, if I'm being honest. So now that we're back to being matte, I still like this foundation. I just am not gonna wear the foundation with the Shape Tape concealer anymore because that's too much, but I like how this looks. And then when I get back from our walk, we're probably going to walk for like an hour, then we'll really get to see when I'm out in the heat like how well this foundation like holds up. But I think it's gonna be pretty good. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and jump off here, and I will see you guys back in about another 4 hours. I'm gonna see you guys back here again at 11 p.m. and that will be my like 8-hour check-in. Hey guys, so I'm back for my 11 o'clock check-in. So I've had this foundation on for a full 8 hours. Just got back from a walk a little bit ago. I know it's really late outside, but it's just so hot to go during the day. And everything still looks really good. So it's been how many hours since I saw you guys last? I think I saw you at almost 8 o'clock. So it's been 3 hours since I saw you guys last. And that's when I powdered, and everything still looks pretty good. Normally when I first powder, I gotta powder like on the hour every hour. But it still looks pretty good. So we're holding up. So I'm gonna keep this on for another 2 hours so I can have a full 10-hour wear test for you guys like I always do. But I think we're looking good. I do wish the shade was just like a little bit darker. I guess you can like really see how tan I am compared to my face. So, but yeah, so far so good. This looks really nice still like on my dry skin. And then I figured I would do like a close-up of 8 hours of wear. So I'm back. It's 1:11, so I've had this foundation on for 10 hours. I honestly did not think I was gonna make it till 1 o'clock in the morning, but I did. And it still looks really nice. It almost looks exactly how it did the last time I saw you guys at the 8-hour check-in. So I'm really happy with that. I'm just gonna look up close myself. Like, it's a little too matte for me, if I'm being honest, but that being said, it did last a really long time for 10 hours, and I just feel like if my skin was any more drier, I wouldn't like it. Like right now I don't have any dry patches, thank goodness, but I feel like if I had a dry patch, it would cling to it like no other. So I would definitely be wary of that if you have any dry patches. But other than that, I mean, I told you guys before I went in this crease right here, but it didn't crease around my nose like at all, or really around my chin either, just like in that laugh line that's right there. And then I did get a little oily like right here, which we powdered, and I only had to powder once. Like I guess I could powder one more time if I needed to make this foundation last longer than 10 hours, but so far so good. If you are looking for a matte foundation with like good coverage that's lightweight, I would suggest like trying this out. I don't know if you could get a sample of this. I bought mine from Ulta, so I don't know if Ulta gives foundation samples. I know Sephora does, but I don't know if Sephora carries this. So I would definitely check that out first. But yeah, I guess I'm pretty satisfied with it. Again, the shade is, I wish it was just a little bit darker, but I think the shade is good. I can just like bronze up the skin, you know? Yeah, let me know if you guys have tried out the Tarte Shape Tape Matte Foundation in the comments below, and like what you think and what your skin type is and stuff like that. And I mean, I still really like the packaging. The doe foot, I didn't think I would really like from the beginning, but it actually wasn't that bad. I just don't think it's very sanitary, but since I'm going to be the only one using this, like it's okay. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and please don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this foundation first impression of the Tarte Shape Tape Matte Foundation. And thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.